Dog. Alright, so since a certain math teacher won't let me do this anymore, I thought that I would do this for... And yes, Erica Sheedy, I did say you could help, but I think this might be better. So, now that that's over with, I don't need my phone anymore. So, thank you, Erica. Let's see. Timothen Carter was the son of George Washington Carter, and he had an enormous wealth from his invention of peanut butter. So he had all this money that he could use to spend for anything. Well, not everything, but you know. They raised their son, you know, just like a normal childhood. Nothing bad. Only point of noticing or telling in the story was that Timothen learned how to read at age 2. 2. I mean, I don't know. I think that's pretty good for the son of someone that like that. From his background, learning how to read at that age was pretty remarkable. So, you know, life goes on, and many other things happened. And at the beginning of elementary school, the first day, Timothy couldn't even talk. His dad turns to him, and he says, "You know, Timothy, it's elementary school. If you get straight A's throughout elementary school, I'll get you whatever you want." So Timothy, not understanding anything, well, some of it, wrote down on a sheet of paper because he could write. Okay, you know, that sounds good. I like stuff. You know, that sounds a good idea. So, you know, everything went fine. He actually learned how to talk in kindergarten. You know, it's kind of late, but it kind of balances out because he learned how to read. But anyway, kindergarten, you know, learned how to talk. Elementary or first grade, he learned how to hear because that was a problem. You know, he couldn't talk, he couldn't hear, but he could talk. He learned how to write, learned how to speak what he wrote, and then learned how to hear what he spoke. You know, you got to start from the ground up. You know. Ground, hand, up, okay. Anyway, back to the story. Timothy in first grade had a kind of little accident. He was going on the swings, and, you know, he loved the swings. And when his friend pushed him on the swing, he went. And then he came back, and then he went, and then he came back. And then finally Timothy turned to the kid and said, "I bet you can't push me as hard as I can fall off the swing." And the kid said, "Oh yeah?" He pushed him. Timothy falls off the swing, lands on his arm, breaks his arm. So Timothy broke his arm in first grade. So then in second grade, his arm's healed by then. He goes out and... Oh, I failed to mention, he had straight A's in kindergarten and first grade. It just slipped my mind because, you know, they don't really give grades. But he had the equivalent of, what is that, S, A, U, A, acceptable, satisfactory. No to U, that's unsatisfactory. But anyway, he got this little really other grade marks that his dad accepted in lieu of the A's. So second grade, you know, got straight S's, straight satisfactory. Third grade, straight satisfactory. And then fourth grade, third grade, whatever grade he's next, fourth and third grade, let's just say that, he got A's in every single class. And, you know, Timothy was like, oh my gosh, I can do this. I can really get straight A's. And then in fifth grade, he had this really, really lame teacher, Mr. Flower. And he seemed that he wasn't getting along with him very well. I mean, it was kind of weird. He didn't get along with him during science class because, you know, in fifth grade, you have the same teacher throughout the whole thing. He only disagreed with, like, he only had a problem with him during science. So he had, you know, like, I don't know, maybe it was like a clique. I don't know the full story. At least I do, but I don't know that part. So like Mr. Flower would teach English. You know, English is his subject. I mean, you know, it's ground up. You know, math. I mean, he knew algebra before 5th grade. So I mean, what do you learn in 5th grade? Your times tables, right? I know, right? And then, you know, in science, you know, at 11 o'clock science time, he turned into like Mr. Crazy, you know. So that was a problem. He had the parent-teacher night, and his parents were like, "What's wrong with my son?" And he's like, "Oh, nothing. I love your son, except when it's 11 o'clock to 12:30 when we do science." And I don't know. It's kind of weird. But eventually, Mr. Flower and Timothen, you know, they had like special counseling sessions or study sessions, not counseling. I'm an idiot. And you know, they got that, and they got an A in science. I mean, go figure. And 6th grade, you know, nothing really happened except he met her. He met her. He didn't know her name, but he met her. And she was beautiful. I mean, it was his first crush. And it's too bad that he never really, you know, talked to her or figured out her name. But, you know, across the courtyard, you know, he's like, wow, I have a crush on her. You know, 6th grade, you don't know what love is. But anyway, every day, 8:31, right when the bell rang to go to their class, you know, he'd see her. And every day he'd see her. And I kind of distracted her for the first couple hours of school. But after that, you know, he was fine. You know, he forgot about her. And, you know, this first couple classes that they teach in the beginning of the class, like English, I think that was. Yeah, it was English. Yeah, it was English. You know, English suffered. He suffered, and that was his class. You know, the right, speak here. You know, ground up. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of weird. You know, love's a strange thing. So, you know, no, you don't know. So I'm telling you. He you know, he did his thing. All the other classes, straight A's. But in English, you know, he had a little trouble. So, he went up to his teacher. He's like, "Look, I need to get this girl off my mind. I don't know her name. She's really attractive. I like her. Or I have a crush on her. I like that I have a crush on her. But it's not helping me in school." So the teacher sat him down, with her. Not with her, just him. And, you know, told her, yes, you know, just, you know, concentrate. That 8:31 to 8:35, if you see her in that period, you know, just plant that in your mind. But then when it's English time, you know, set that aside and just think about English. And sure enough, hey, you got A's. And the last day of 6th grade, you know, big party because you don't have finals, he gets this text message from a friend that says, "Woo Timothen," from Connor. It's like, what? Yeah, no, I'm graduating 6th grade. It's awesome. Thanks, Connor. And he was just like having a party. He doesn't even know who Connor is. He's just like, why are you text messaging me? I don't even have a phone. It's just like, I'm in 6th grade. I'm going to go party. And then his teacher gives him his report card. And it says on the sticky note, "Woo! Connor Shamit." And then he peels off the note, straight A's on his report card. Yeah! Goes home, shows his dad. His dad is ecstatic. So he's like, "You know what that means, Timothy?" And he's like, "Oh yeah! My thing I couldn't understand when I was in kindergarten. Now I know you said, you know, I get whatever I want." So he's like, what do I want? 10 green golf balls. So his dad goes, okay. Goes out, gets the golf balls, comes back, gives him the 10 golf balls in his hand. Timothy takes the golf balls, runs off to his room, and that's it. Stay tuned for part 2, TBD.